Hello, book lovers. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in to another review. We've got a special guest today. You can't see, but my cat is here. She's probably going to get annoyed because I'm speaking, not paying her any attention. But anyway, let's get into today's review. So, what if you could make a living by apologizing for other people? That's exactly what happens in At Least We Can Apologize by Iggy Ho. So, this is a darkly comic, thought provoking novel that explores power, control, and the strange nature of apologies in Korean society. It's absurd, unsettling, and unlike anything you've read before. So let's get into it. So today's book is At Least We Can Apologize. Like I said, it's written by Igi Ho and translated by Christopher J. Dykaz. And so yeah, I think this is the first book that I've reviewed by Iggy Ho on the channel. This book was published as part of the Library of Korean Literature. This was a project between the Literature Translation Institute of Korea and the Dalkey Archive Publishing Company. All of the books kind of have this sort of a format. I've reviewed a few of the books from this series before, and you can find those elsewhere on the channel. So it was originally published in Korean in 2009. The English translation was published in 2013, and Lee Gi-ho made his debut in 1999 with a short story called Bunny, which won the Hyundai Moonhack New Writers Competition. Since then, he's published several short story collections, including Che Sunduk, Full of the Holy Spirit, Fumbling, I Knew I'd End Up Like This, and Who I Did, Dr. Kim. Sorry, my cat is complaining about something. Sorry. He's written he's written a couple of full-length novels, including today's novel and a novel called The World History of the Second Child. He's won several literary awards, and I believe he is still a professor in the Department of Creative Writing at Gwangju University. And his work often concerns people who are overlooked or marginalized. And he's often associated with new trends in Korean fiction from the turn of the century. And there's a great quote from a critic. Sorry. There's a great quote from a critic. Do you want to laugh? Do you want to cry? Read Lee Gi-ho. He is the weather vane of Korean fiction in the 2000s. So, very interesting way to describe his career. So, today's book, At Least We Can Apologize, is a story about marginalized people, but will it make us laugh and cry? So, I'm sure that lots of readers will indeed laugh and or cry reading this novel. So it's a black comedy or a satire about the act of apologizing, an act which some reviewers have noticed has some cultural significance in Korean politics and cultural life in general. The narrator is Jin Man, a young man who was institutionalized as a child in a brutal facility for allegedly unstable people. He's very naive and literal minded, sort of simple minded to the extent that he often just takes everything at face value. There's a character in a Marvel movie who does the same thing. I can't remember his name. But so a naive person who just takes everything at face value. I apologize for my cat. Anyway, so he makes friends with another inmate called Shibong, and together they are regularly beaten by two sadistic wardens, and often they don't know what they are supposed to have done wrong, and they even invent wrongs to confess to the caretakers. Though if they invent a wrong, they then deliberately commit it so to make it sort of equalize, to make it fair. So this, in fact, leads the caretakers to appoint them as apologizers for the other inmates. Uh, yeah, so it seems as if their life will continue in this way, but the facility is raided by the police after it is revealed that the warden is corrupt. The guards are all sent to prison, and the former prisoners, including Shibong and Jinman, suddenly find themselves free, back in society, with no idea how to act or indeed live a normal life. So, how do these two uh, institutionalized men try to re enter society, and what types of problems do they face? So, they suffer a series of mishaps. They don't really understand society. So they observe the people around them. They see people committing wrongs like minor insults or rudeness or something. What the heck? What is it? They see people doing like these minor crimes or small unpleasant acts, being rude to people or this type of thing, or insulting each other. And they decide to start an agency where they apologize to people on behalf of someone else. So you pay Shibong and Jinmang to apologize for you. So, of course, everyone thinks they're crazy until they get a customer who wants to apologize to his ex-wife. I don't know what do you want? And so it's a very strange concept. It's a novel with a very odd tone, and Jinbong and Shibong's naivety and ignorance of how society works causes them all sorts of problems. So they seem to leave a trail of sort of interpersonal disasters for other people behind them, causing all sorts of problems, sort of ending people's friendships and so on. Um, and the subject matter could be extremely depressing, but there's a dark, sadistic comedy in the delivery. So, what is Lee Ho trying to say? On one hand, it is at least in part about the power of authority. It's about how institutions control people, the invisible hand of power behind our actions. And it's also about the act of apology. They have to be beaten into apologizing for things they did not do. And if they apologize, they receive milder beatings. So they apologize. And this is an act with a certain degree of cultural significance here. So many Korean politicians and actors or celebrities of various kinds have found themselves apologizing, making a public apology for disappointing their fans and the Korean public and people in general for various things. So everything from, maybe being caught taking drugs or drunk driving or some other sort of transgression. And Korean society seems to expect and want and seems to think they deserve apologies from all sorts of people. And Lee Ho seems to be satirizing this act of apologizing. He's questioning its value. Because people will apologize for anything if they're forced to. So it's a very interesting novel. And what do you think? Would you ever pay someone to apologize on your behalf? Do you think apologies hold real meaning in today's world? So please feel free to leave a comment. And if you enjoyed the review, don't forget to like the video to support the channel. Subscribe for more deep dives into Korean literature and satirical novels. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. And I apologize for my cat.